Hello, Enrich community. Welcome back to the Enrich Podcast, the show where we explore topics that inspire you, grow you, and make you a better version of yourself. We have Maria back on the show. Welcome back to the show, Maria.
Thank you for having me back.
Of course. Always lovely having you here. If you guys don't know already, Maria is a certified counselor. She's also a hypnotherapist. And if you guys want to learn more about her, I will be linking everything in the description below, how you can work with her. So stay tuned for more episodes because I love having her on here and she keeps coming back. So we just love this duo. Let's talk about the topic today, which is finding more time in your schedule. What does that look like and what does it really mean having more time for yourself? So let's delve into that right away.
I love the topic of time because it's my favorite subject to talk about. So I use this acronym that's used for self-care. Mm-hmm. It's NEST. So it's N for nutrition, E for exercise, S for sleep, T for time, and S for support. So we're going to talk about time today.
Right.
And why I love time so much is because it's a commodity that you just can't get back. It's the most precious commodity that exists. Mm-hmm. So whatever you put your time into, you just can't get it back. Mm-hmm. And so it's priceless. And that's why I love to talk about it.
Right.
But when we're talking about it, when it comes to self-care, and this is what we're talking about time today is self-care, is whatever you put your time, whatever you put into time in your life is what you get back. Mm-hmm. So if you put time into nutrition, exercise, and sleep, you're taking care of your body. You're getting, your physical body. You're taking care of your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, and your soul. And then when you do that, you live a happier existence, a more healthier existence. And, being happy all the time is non-realistic, but you feel more fulfilled.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I love the explanation. Another thing I actually want to delve into is even when we're taking on time, like it happens to all of us time to time, like our mind is always wondering, right?
Yeah.
So when you're intentionally taking on time for something, like it could be a nature walk, it could be spending time with a partner, it could be doing self-care, which could be, doing facials or whatever that looks like, right? What is something that you recommend that when you are taking up time for something that you do that puts you in that present state right away? Because if you are taking out time and you're thinking about, I gotta go do this because it happens to me, and I know a lot of people go through this too. I'm having a lot of conversations with people, whether at my work or in the community, and they're always like, I always struggle with time. I'm always busy. And even when you're taking on time, you're not really, mind is not there. You're thinking about 50 other things, right? And I know we all go through this time to time. We can't always be 100% present. But what does that mean, being busy all the time or taking out time for yourself?
Okay, so two different things here, right, but that are related, right?
Right.
So beautiful, you're bringing it up. So you're saying now busy. People say they're busy, and we live in this life now that everybody's busy. And busy is a choice. I've been a mom with renovating a house and, working. And I know that people would probably think, being busy isn't my choice. But it is. It's because what are you busy doing? Right? So, no one tells, we make choices. We make choices where we spend our time. So, when you have children, that's a choice most of the time, right? And then you're raising your children. You have a choice how you raise your children. So that busyness is a choice that you made. So instead of saying you're busy, you could look at it as your life is full. It's full with the choices that you made, right? So, and sometimes when people are using the excuse of busy, that's a whole different thing. It's because, you value what you do with different places. So in different kinds of values. So when you're, people will cook because they value homemade food, right? Other people will not. They'll just, they'll eat a sandwich because they'll value doing that hour that they were going to cook. They were going to go do something else, or they order in food, right? Because say that you're a busy mom and you're working and you've got homework to do with your kids, so you don't have time to make food. So you order something in. So, your value and you're spending time with your kids doing that. So, it is what you value, what you spend your time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. When people are busy, they need to step back. Are they, what do they mean by busy? Mm-hmm. What are the choices they're making? Where are they spending their time? Right. Because wherever you put your time into is what's going to grow in your life.
Right. And I also want to talk about different scenarios, like where you feel like you're being productive with your time. That's something I wanted to talk about a little bit about, whether that's at work, whether that's, going for massages or pedicure. Something that I've noticed whenever we are, scheduling too many things in, like something I've dealt with before and I've changed it around. I've scheduled too many things in my calendar. And I'm like, well, I'm always busy. Like we have this definition of busyness equals you're doing something about it, right? But I find that, let's say, even at work, some people that I work with, I'm also a coach for them, and I'm always guiding them, like, okay, you were here today for 7 hours, but we're not moving the needle in the business. What's going on there? Like, are we being productive or are we being busy?
So you talk about time management.
Time management.
Yeah, that's completely different than what I'm doing. What I'm talking about here.
Right.
Time management is something that you would be really good at. Maybe in coaching, or know, if people come to me for consulting, we would go through where they're spending their time, and then like you said, at work is like, how are you spending your time?
Right.
So that's a little bit different than what we're talking about, because the massages and everything that you were saying is. The time that I'm talking about here is time that you spend to fill your cup. So when you feel fulfilled, when you feel, you're whole, you'll be able to spend that time, whatever it is that you're feeling better about yourself, then you'll be able to contribute in your life in a way that's valuable to you. So it's how you spend your time. So when you're talking about work now, and time management at work is thinking, what am I doing here? Like, how am I most productive? What is it that's expected from me? What is it that I want to do? So that would be more time management at work. But when you're saying about the massages and all that, that is filling your cup. But what my thing with time is also finding time for yourself. What brings you joy? What makes you feel full? When was the last time you laughed? When was the last time you felt like, you're in the flow? Some people paint, some people go for nature walks, like you've said in the past. Some people like to see other people because that's how they feel more alive. So are you taking time for the things that matter in your life? Or are you just spending time, and are you doing something with the time, or are you just allowing time to go by and you're not in control of it?
Right. Yeah. I love that explanation. I think let's talk a little bit more about self-care in this aspect, like when you're taking a time, like when it comes to taking out time for massages, taking time for your family. Why do you think that's important? I know it's very self-fulfilling, but why do you think it's really important to do so time to time?
I love that you're asking that question, because like in Nest, that's what the time means. It means finding time for what brings you joy, finding time for yourself. And, I always say it's same old adage, it's like filling your cup. You can't give what you don't have. Right? So in order to be able to be there for people you love in your life, or to feel like your life is yours, that you're living your own life, is to find time to do the things that bring you joy, the times that to find time to find things that you're doing that fill your cup, things, or even just resting. Like, to fill your body needs to rest, whatever it is. And, that's the biggest thing with my clients when they come, and they're suffering in their life. And, when I say, what do you do for joy? What do you do for fun? What do you do? When was the last time you laughed? And, I ask them these questions, and they're like, what do you mean joy? I don't have time to do things for joy. I don't have time to, I can't remember the last time I laughed. And then, that's when we work on finding time for yourself. Because when you're not feeling fulfilled, when you're unhappy, when you don't find time and value yourself, then everything around you starts to fall apart. You see it, that your work falls apart, your families and relationships fall apart, and they're not healthy because you're not feeling healthy. You're not feeling fulfilled. So how can you fulfill everything else around you?
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think people can do right now to find more time for themselves? I think I struggle with it too, time to time. I find that when it comes to other important things like massages, sometimes I put that on the side. Sometimes I'm getting a manicure on the side. And I would love to have it done, right, time to time. But I put aside these things time to time because I think I am taking on time for other things.
Yeah.
But what are some practical tips that you can give right now so they are taking out time for things that they enjoy?
When was the last time you went to the doctor?
Oh, it's been actually a couple weeks.
Yeah. And, why did you go to the doctor?
Yeah, because I started
made
to
an
face
appointment.
Right.
Right. You were feeling well or whatever was going on, and you made an appointment.
Right.
No, or just like, you went to go get your oil changed.
Right.
How come you went to go get your oils changed?
Right.
Right. What day did you go? That day, at that time. Why? Because you scheduled it in.
That's very true. Yeah.
Right. If you don't get your oil changed, what's going to happen to your car?
Right.
Right. So it's the same thing. You got to think of like, I'm worthy of this. My body is worthy of this. This is part of my self-care. It's part of my package to be able to be and show up in my life. I need to take care of myself. So then, just like you schedule in a doctor's appointment, a dentist appointment, a therapist appointment, whatever it is, you schedule in whatever brings you joy. So, if having your nails done or going for a massage or going for a walk or seeing a friend or watching a comedy on TV and eating chips that for half an hour a week, you schedule it in.
Right.
Yeah.
Aww.
That was something one of my clients said. They can't remember the last time they watched a comedy and ate chips, and that brings them joy. And I said, schedule it in.
Right.
And, their whole being changes when they're scheduling time for joy.
Right. One thing actually, something that I've been really craving to do is like baking, because I remember years ago I used to love baking. Like I used to love make garlic bread and like muffins and you name it. And I've been like getting that itch to do so, but that's a great reminder for me to just schedule it in my calendar like I do for everything else, and just go for it and not put it on the side because I'm worthy of it.
Yeah, it's because it's creating space for yourself.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in that flow state too, right?
Yeah, yeah. And when you notice it, what brings you, what is it that I always, I ask, when we're talking about the time aspect of self-care, I ask, what is it that you do that you forget time is even going by? Like for me, I love it when we're together here, like, and we're getting ready and we're filming our podcast and the time goes by and I don't even notice it. So for me, this is part of self-care for me, is doing the podcast with you, right? And getting ready for it and being here and us and our time together. And it fills my cup. So, find what brings you joy. Find what brings you into that flow. Find what makes you smile. Find what makes you feel relaxed. Listen to your body. Right? When you listen to your body and you feel relaxed and you feel that your heart is calm and your soul is at peace and your body is just feeling totally relaxed, that's the time. Do that. That's the tea. Find time for that in your life.
Thank you for sharing that, Maria. I do have a few more questions for you. I can think of a few scenarios where I can think of a friend who has a kid and she's working like multiple jobs, or a few other people that I can think of. They're always busy. And if I would even talk about this, hey, you should take out time for yourself, it would be a trigger point for them. Anything that you can even give them like one advice today?
Well, the thing is, it's difficult when you're raising your kids and you're working and, you got activities and you got all that to find time because, we only have so much time. It's not infinite.
Right.
It's a finite thing. However, if you don't find time, this is a doctor's way. If you don't find time for your wellness, you're going to have to find time for your illness.
Very true.
So if you don't find time for what brings you joy, if you don't find time for something to relax, if you don't find time for you to fill yourself up, eventually it'll catch up to you. It's the same thing. And like I say it to everybody because they can really wrap their head around. If you don't have time to go get your tires changed or do your oil change or, take care of your vehicle is going to eventually break down. It's not going to take you anywhere. So, look at that as your life. If you don't take care of yourself, eventually you're going to break down.
I can even think of some scenarios even in my own household. Like sometimes I see my own mom or dad just like, work is important. It's important, right? It is very important, but I think it's equally important to take out time for yourselves, for your kids, for yourself first, so you can also hold space for other people. And I see that anxiousness, and I see that, well, I never have enough time. Then you kind of goes back to your other rigid boundaries too. It's like, you don't even allow that in. To seep in.
And today's day, especially today, when I hear people say they don't have time, I go to them, how much time did you spend on social media? Your phone will tell you.
Yes.
Right? Your phone will tell you. Look it up. How much time did you spend on social media? If you have 25 minutes to spend on social media, you have 25 minutes.
And for some people, it's hours.
That's not, I'm just giving that as a time.
Yeah.
Just think, is that more important than your self-care? Right? So then here we are valuing and worthiness. We got to work on value and worth.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing. This was amazing. Thank you so much, Maria.
You're welcome. I love time.
I know.
Find time for yourselves. Find time for what brings you joy. Find time for the things that you love. And then you'll be able to feel more fulfilled in life. And then everybody else around you will feel more fulfilled.
Right. You got to be at peace right here, right?
Yeah.
Your body's well rested. Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
And, you know, it just helps so much with your mental health and your physical health and your emotional health.
I feel it.
And
I mean,
spiritual
that's what,
health,
yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
I feel it. I mean, this morning I went for a walk and I remember thinking about it while I was walking. I'm like, I have to take care of myself first so I can have a good day, because it was a busy day today with recordings and like other things happening, right? So, yeah.
I have a funny story for you.
Yes, please share.
Okay, so my husband has his own business. He's had his own business now for 34 years. And so he works, everybody knows him, 6 days a week from morning till night. He leaves and he comes home at night. And we're getting older. And I said to him a couple of years back, I said, you know, I go to the chiropractor all the time and I get an adjustment. I call it a tune-up. And I said, I think it would be helpful if you just came with me at least once a month. You know, I'm not expecting you to come because she's far. She's a 45-minute drive from us. And he's like, no, I never have time. Well, one day his back gave up, so he had to find the time. So we went. And so the beauty of that is he felt better. And then he decided that, because I keep telling him, if you don't find time for your wellness, you're going to have time for your illness, which he had to. So then what happened is we incorporated two things together. So we made it into a date night. Ooh. So my chiropractor laughs her head off because she knows it's a date night. Me and my husband, we go to the chiropractor together.
I love it.
We get adjusted and then we go for dinner. And then we go home and pass out. I'm so tired from the adjustment. But it's become like such a beautiful ritual.
Right.
So, you know, you could combine
How often
two
do you guys
things.
go? I love that.
We try and go once a month.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's been a while.
Very
persistent. But, you know, we were doing it once a month for the longest time, and now we've been traveling. So that's kind of taken over. But when we're home, we try and do it once a month or every 2 months, and we turn it into a date night. So,
I love it.
You know, you're filling all the cups at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hitting all the points. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, that's how you find the time.
Right.
Again, you know, he was forced to find the time, and when he saw that he was forced to find the time and he started doing the tune-ups, his body felt better, and he, you know,
he's craving for it a lot more now.
But then his body's fit, the body's happier, he feels better. We combine the date night so it's healthier for our relationship, so it's all around healthy.
I love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Maria.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so time.
Yes, time. Take out time for yourself, okay?
Important.
Thank you so much for tuning in, Ridge Community. Like always, please subscribe to our channel, leave a comment below, and share this episode with someone that you truly care about. It was such an amazing episode, and it's important that you take out time for yourself today, because if you won't, who else will? Thank you so much once again, and I'm going to leave you with this like I always do, sending you a lot of love and positive vibes.